So awesome. Well, hey, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on here today. I know we have some people that already know a lot about crypto. They're here tonight. And then some of you here, you're probably haven't invested in anything and maybe you don't even know much about crypto yet. But by the end of today, you're going to get a great first dose. And what I'll kind of start off by saying is that back in November, I had never heard of Nexus ecosystem. So I'm sure some of you are in that place right now that I was back in November. And next thing you know, look, now I've got these Martians and I've got QR codes and I don't have the close yet, but I'll have them on soon. Okay. But that's just how excited I got, when I figured out that this even existed. And I just had some great friends that shared it with me. So first of all, whoever shared this with you, they are good friends. They're people that care about you. And, if you're on here right now, just think about who you care about. I've been sharing this I've had my parents on here. I've had my mother-in-law on here. Anyone that I can think of that I love, I know, and I trust, and I know would do great things with having some extra resources. I'm sharing every single week. So this is a great place to bring people, as you'll see, where they can just learn more about crypto in general, where they can learn about the blockchain, where they can learn about Nexus ecosystem in a safe place to invest their hard-earned money, right? That it can actually grow over time. And I think you'll agree with me by the end of this that we are positioned. It's like we're in front of a tidal wave, a tsunami, whatever word you want to use. And so today, guys, we are super, super blessed. We have Peter Gantner on here. And Peter, he's had a lot of success in his life. Wonderful, wonderful human. He surrounds himself. Every person you'll meet that's part of Nexus ecosystem are incredible humans. And so you could say Peter's a collector of incredible humans. He's even brought some people out of retirement. If you're bringing someone out of retirement back into the workforce, that means something. Okay, so I'm gonna stop talking and turn it over to Peter, who's gonna share everything. We'll do a Q&A at the end too. So if you have a few questions,
and I'm gonna have to add to that. That person was really looking forward to retirement, right? So before we asked her to come back out of retirement, she was telling me, a little bit about it on a few conversations we had. She was very much looking forward to retiring, and that was quite some time ago now. And she stepped up in a huge way. So we'll introduce everybody to the ladies here at the end of it after we talk a little bit about what are we here for. Cryptocurrency and the blockchain, two separate entities. The blockchain is the technology that is the underlying that is going to because of its attributes, not because we want it to, but because of its attributes, the value that it will create for society, it is going to be the largest shift of finances, so the wealth transfer in the history of humankind. It is the biggest opportunity to date. That means bigger than the internet, bigger than whatever idea or concept that you can come up with that's taken place so far up until this point. But one of the neat things about it is, and the internet was a big transfer of wealth, right? For the people who started the internet companies, maybe the early employees and investors who were VC funds or had money in VC funds. So really it was a transfer of wealth for the wealthy, right? For us everyday people, it was improvements in our lives, right? So I can now have Amazon bring something to the door like in hours, right? And we ordered something like it. I think it was noon the other day and it was at the house by 3 o'clock, right? Pretty cool, pretty easy. We're on Zoom right now. Zoom has made it to where we can communicate with people all over the world and have conversations and do all that stuff. Because there were barriers to entry. Now, come along today to the blockchain and cryptocurrency, and those barriers have been erased. And one of the things that I love about the crypto space when I found it was, for $20, $50, $100, $1,000, you could get involved with it. And there's story after story after story of people producing massive wealth from very small things. I'll give you some perfect examples. Last April, you could have bought something called a Bored Ape Yacht NFT. You could have bought that for less than $300. Today, if you held that just a little over a year later, that one purchase would have created at least $700,000 to $800,000 in wealth. And here's the key: it didn't do it just for one person. Over 3,000 people had the opportunity to get one and then hold on to it throughout this process. And if they did, between the crypto that was airdropped, between the two NFTs that they would have, it's like $700,000-800,000 in value. Other stories, 6 years ago, if you purchased something called Ethereum, we were looking at wallets yesterday, and there are wallets that have held Ethereum from the beginning, 60,000, 70,000, 50,000 Ethereum, which today is valued at over $100 million, right? In value. In those days, they probably paid about 20 grand for it. Okay. It was about 30 cents per token. And again, this has been in the last 6 years. So I'm here to tell you that guess what? Those opportunities are not gone. It's not too late to get involved with that. And here's the great part. It's not who you know. It's simply being able to find the right team and the right technology that has the right community behind it. And if you can find just a few of those and get involved early enough in that process, you could also change your financial stars like so many people have done out there in the space. And so what is the Nexus ecosystem? Well, the Nexus ecosystem is we found crypto and we were like, oh my goodness, this is incredible. First time I found it, I didn't understand it, got involved, did not have a good experience and got away from it. The second time I found it, I discovered the blockchain and the value that it produces with transparency and immutability, just the real value that's there, and then correlated that with the value of what crypto is, right? And how those work together and how they're going to create massive wealth. And then, so we came on board as a person acquiring cryptos. And I acquired my crypto like most of the people I knew. A friend would call you up or send you a text and say, oh my God, you got to get in this project. And then you go get in. And some of those worked out. A lot of them did not, though, because what I didn't realize is where there's huge opportunity, there's also a lot of people that are just jumping in to make a quick buck. And not every project founder and not every piece of technology was actually worth investing in. So I spent a lot of time researching and figuring this out. And the one conclusion I came to is if you're going to operate in the crypto space, you need to find a group of people that then you could trust, that you could then delegate, and through a group of people, find the right projects to be a part of. Well, I looked at a few of those groups. Most of them were very expensive, $500, $1,000 a month to be parts of these groups, just to be part of it, never mind anything else. So we started to move along. Then the Binance Smart Chain launches. All of a sudden we get involved in inexpensive transaction fees and figuring all this stuff out. What we realized is that something had to be done in order to fix some of the challenges that existed in the crypto space. Well, we decided to be those people. As a group, we started to form DAOs. The first DAO we formed is True Badger. It is a consulting, incubator / accelerator program. So it's a group of us got together. We're business people. We understand business. We love business. And we said, listen, what we'll do is instead of having individual people have to go out and look into the teams, right? Do that vetting of the team, do the vetting of the technology. I got to be honest with you, I don't know much about technology, but the good part is we have brilliant people that do. And so they look at the technology. I do understand business, a deep knowledge of what works, what doesn't work, what's a real business, and what is something that's, more than likely destined not to make it. And so what we're able to do is take those two elements and get them, and vet that side of it. Now, that doesn't mean that you should look at our projects and not do your own due diligence. Everybody should DYOR, do your own research and decide whether you're excited about a project or not excited about a project, and then decide which ones you get involved with. So we're a group of over 15 people, plus our technology side of things, which takes it to probably about 40 people. Between blockchain, UI programmers, and then the team that's working on the different projects that we have. Well over 40 people who have had, lots of levels of success and lots of time in the industry, whether it's in trading, business, again, software, and all the way across the board. But there was one thing that we realized in traditional business, which is where I come out of. So inventor, entrepreneur, been in Forbes magazine, Wall Street Journal, for going out and doing guerrilla marketing and turning products into, national successes, tens of millions of dollars in sales of those products. In the product business, 90% of the success of a project is the team and the people that are behind it, the hard work, the dedication, the being able to solve problems, all that stuff. And about 10% of it's the product. One thing we found when we jumped into the crypto space is there's another aspect of crypto that I love and believe in, and that is that the people, the customers, the community that's behind it is an essential part of it. And I'll explain in a second why I love that part of it. So so you've got 90-10. In the crypto space, blockchain space, though, it's 50% the community that gets behind it, probably 40% team, and 5 to 10% product at best, right? And it's got to have great technology, but it's really the team and that. The reason why I like that formula is, here's the key. If you as a consumer, you as a person is essential to the success of it, guess what? You get to participate in the upside of it, right? So in a normal company, you have your customers, they get the value of the product. You have your investors, owners, maybe employees that work their way towards stock. They get the value of the financial value. You get to use the product. In crypto, we are an essential part of it, the community. So guess what? You get to participate in the financial success of the project. That's the reason why there's people in Ethereum that have become worth over hundreds of millions of dollars with only putting in $10,000 or $20,000. There's people in Doge that put in $25, $50, $100 that today have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. That's why with Bored Ape Yacht, a year ago, you could have bought the NFT and today made what? $700,000, $800,000, because the community is the driving force and the essential behind it. Okay, so what does that have to do with Nexus ecosystem? So we looked at that and said, wait a minute, here's the perfect formula: community, founders, and technology. So we went out and found the best technology partners in the world, the people that do our blockchain, the people that do our programming. Muon is one of those partners. If you'd like to look it up, it's muon.net, muon.net. So muon.net, leading the way in interoperability within the blockchain crypto space with NFTs, with play to earn, and as well with cryptocurrency in itself. Don't mean to throw a bunch of big words out there or anything in the crypto space, these terms that you won't understand, but the key is it's really good and there are partners, all right? Otherverse is our other partner, which is leading the way in the metaverse. Now, some of you guys might go, metaverse, I haven't heard of it. Or maybe what you've heard of the metaverse is the fact that one of the biggest companies in the world, Facebook, actually changed their name from Facebook, the corporate name. Facebook, the social media site, is still called Facebook, but Facebook, the company, is now Meta. And the reason why they changed it is a few years ago, they bought a device called Oculus, which led them into the 3D virtual VR gaming, which now they've realized that the future is what was going to be the metaverse. It's going to be this digital world combining with the real world. And they've really jumped into it very heavily in the last year or so. Well, guess what? Our partner, Otherverse, has been in the space for over 17 years. They have over 77 patents. A portion of those are essential. So we all know essential is necessary, right? You can't do it without it. Essential patents in the metaverse space. And so they are going to be a part forever of the future, the development of it. And of course, that's going to mean what? Huge chance to monetize the metaverse in that respect. There are partners in that area. So us as a consulting business, True Badger, we have been hired by Otherverse to help them launch their token, launch their FNFTs, which are functional NFTs. If you don't know what an NFT is, it's a non-fungible token. It's simply digital collectibles that either you sit on your phone and it's artwork, or maybe it's some type of a collectible sports card, that type of thing, or it is actually avatars or collectible items within a metaverse, 3D items that help you enjoy and get value from the metaverse. So that's the essential. So as a consulting group, we've been brought on board. Now, True Badger is a DAO. It is the paperwork should be completely filed in the next 3 or 4 weeks out of Marshall Islands. We are a DAO that's set up. What does a DAO mean? A DAO means that there's an indicator in place that determines who are the owners, the benefactors of the project. In our case, it's our token holders, okay? So think of it as we are a consulting business that loves to get paid in digital assets. Those digital assets are then owned by True Badger, the company that did the consulting work. The team gets some tokens for being part of the team, for working in it on that side of it, but the majority of those tokens stay with the project and, of course, create value for the future of the project, whether that's to be used for developing other projects and creating more value, or whether that is to, grow the resources that we have. So that's there. Now, we looked at this industry and said, wait a minute, there's some problems. Oh my goodness. As an investor in the space, guys, I can't tell you how many times I got excited about a project on Monday, did my research, found out it was a good project, heard that it was launching on either Uniswap or PancakeSwap, and that it was launching at 9 a.m. in the morning or 6 a.m., whatever time. And I put together a few $1,000s and said, I'm going to be first one in. Jumped on and then tried to get into the project, only to find out that computer bots got in, bought up all the tokens at a very low price, drove up the price. I got filled way up here. And then these programs that bought all the tokens down here sold out the tokens and bottomed out the price. And I ended up losing money on something I was extremely excited about. This happened again. Occasionally we'd get lucky and it would stick. And we'd make 3-4 times our money, 5 times our money, like, yay. But there was a lot of times when we were unable to do that. So we decided we needed to fix that problem. And we've done that with a project called Catapult Swap. So we fixed that problem. We made it to where we can be part of launches without having to worry about getting caught up with a bot taking over and manipulating the price of the token. Safufied was another one of our solutions. By the way, guys, all the projects that I'm talking about are functioning, operating projects. So I know in this space with crypto, I'm involved in a few of them. I own quite a few tokens in them. And some of them we've been waiting 18 months, 24 months for them to actually get their software fully working. And it's still not today. They're of course, hopefully getting closer every single day. These are all functioning, operating projects. Another problem that we found in the space was something called rug pulls or honeypots. Rug pulls are when people have access to the liquidity of the project and they just pull it and they just run off. And then honeypots are when people go in because there's one person who has the keys to the contract that dictates the terms. Crypto projects are run on smart contracts. So it's a set of rules that cannot be violated and should not be able to be changed, except for in the case when one person has access to that, they may be able to go in and change it. So we created a piece of software using multiple signature wallets that will not allow, so our projects are set up on these, where it does not allow for one person to have access only to the funds of the project as well as to the contract. So there's security and safety there for the token holders, the people that are going to be the benefactors of that project. So that's Safufied. That token is on the market. Catapult token does not have a token at this point. Sometime in the future, that will happen. The fourth project is Insights. Insight is our trading software. I got to tell you guys, I was on with Doug about an hour ago. He's my partner in this. He's the programmer, the master trader who helped develop the software. Oh my goodness. Wow. Right. Our programmers next week will be taking a holiday. I'm sorry about that, for their religious holiday. But the following week, the trading on that will be released, and just absolutely unbelievable what's going on there with Insights and the value that will create for it. By the way, each of these projects that I'm talking about, there's one core thing that must be available for a company, for a project. And that is the company needs to provide a service or product of value that you, the user, or other users or businesses are willing to exchange a value, right? Whether it's a digital asset or money, fiat money, for that service, that company then or project brings finances in. They use that to run the day-to-day operations. All of our projects meet that criteria. They have a job, they have a utility that they can provide a service for somebody and get that back. Now, some people have said, what's the utility of True Badger? Again, we're a consulting business. So Otherverse is compensating us in digital assets for helping walk them through the process. We help them with their legal, we help them with websites, branding, community involvement, all of those things is what we help with. And we're getting compensation for that in digital assets. Okay. So Insights is our trading software, phenomenal trading software. Now, NFTs are blowing up. So we thought, well, we need to be able to help these other projects, all of them that we get involved with and that we launch, to be in the NFT space, because they're very important, whether it's collectible NFTs, event access. So like a club, right? So some of the NFTs we're doing make you part of a club. One of those is Crypto Gods. It's a club. It's a club you want to be part of. It gets you first in things. It gets you, discounts. It gets you benefits. So if you're thinking, think AARP, right? So that's for people over the age of 55. You join, you pay a monthly fee, and it gives you benefits, right? Discounts and all that stuff. That's what NFTs are. As a matter of fact, that's what Bored Ape Yachts are, NFTs. It's a club that if you own the NFT, so they recently had an event, Bitcoin 2022 in Miami. They had an exclusive party for people that held that NFT. If you didn't hold the NFT, you couldn't go to the party. If you had the NFT, you could go to the party. Also, that's why when they released their cryptocurrency, the people that held that NFT got an airdrop of that cryptocurrency, which ended up being worth over $300,000 at one point. I don't know where it's at right now. So these NFTs that we're developing, some of them give you access to special perks, special things. The cool part is not a monthly fee. It's a one-time purchase of an NFT and you have it. And here's the great part about it. If I got an AARP membership, I can't sell that to somebody. With an NFT membership, let's say I use it for a year and I go, I don't want to be part of this club anymore. I can then list that NFT for sale, possibly sell it for more than what I got involved with it. Another example, and it's a phenomenal one, is Bored Ape Yacht. Bought it for $200 something one, let's say in April of last year. Today, people are willing to pay $300,000 or more for the privilege to be part of that club. Wow, you could have been part of the club for a year and now go ahead and sell that. So that's our NFT space. And so there are collectible NFTs, art, music, that type of stuff. There are club NFTs, combination of those two. And then there's also financial NFTs that are out there where by owning them, you can benefit financially. Most of our NFTs right now are in the first two categories. And that's where we're pioneering and putting forward. And that is CNP. And then, of course, I just mentioned Crypto Gods. That is our club that we've started that will have benefits far reaching down the road for people that want to get involved with. So that's the layout of what we've got going with Nexus. So we are a group of people that came together, said, let's build the community. So one of the keys to success in this project, so if community is 50%, talent is 30 or 40%, and then the rest is the technology, then the number one thing that a project needs to do when it's founded is say, we need to go build a community. So we work with quite a few projects out there, and it's amazing. I was talking to one of the project founders, and I asked them, they have about 3,000 people in their community. And I said, how much have you guys spent on marketing? And they said about $250,000 to $300,000 that they had spent on marketing just to get to a community of 3,000 people. So the idea and the idea and the concept of the Nexus ecosystem is, what if we could pre-build a community of people where we as a team vet the founders, vet the technology, make sure that's all solid. Then the community came in and did their own research, and without a project having to spend the $250,000, $300,000, $500,000 on building their initial community, What if that became their community? And we have a community right now of over 5,000. Let's say 2,000 or 3,000 of those people do the research, said, I want to be part of it. And instantly from day one, that project now had 2,000 to 3,000 people in it. Well, then they could continue to grow it. They would have the resources. They would have the support that they need in order to make that successful. So that is what we're doing right now. That's why you were invited on here. You were invited on here to see if you want to become part of a community of people that are working for the common purpose of everyone involved by helping and finding the right projects, the right team, and then supporting those over the next few years as we all develop and build, massive amounts of digital assets. So now, I mentioned in the beginning about getting into crypto. One of the things I found is it was very difficult to do. So if you've avoided doing it, I do understand why, because I avoided it for several months before I actually got involved. And the reason is I didn't understand the terms. I didn't understand what was going on. It has gotten a little bit easier than when I got involved, but not that much easier. And the one thing I said is, don't forget how difficult something was if you want other people to do it, right? If you've gone through it. So understanding that and knowing that, I said to myself, I wish I had somebody that would have helped me onboard me into the crypto space. And so when we launched True Badger, the DAO, we said, why don't we do that? Why don't we get a dozen volunteers or so to go on and help walk people through? We'll do Zooms and we'll help people get their wallet, and we'll help them go from fiat to crypto, and we'll help them, set up their wallet for the Binance Smart Chain, and we'll walk them through how to go purchase it and all that stuff. And it worked phenomenally. And people were so grateful. We were able to bring in hundreds of people that have never been in crypto before successfully into the space. Once we had that project done, we said, you know what, we need to keep this. And so we continue to run that. It's at help.truebadger.io. We continue to run that today. We have over a dozen people that are experts in the space that understand how to onboard people, that can help you with problems, what we call our customer service side of things, which, by the way, in the crypto space is barely exists. There's a few companies that are doing a good job, but there's only a few. Most of those companies are simply through chats online. We are the only company I know of at this point for free that has live onboard Zoom chat. There may be another one that I don't know about, but as far as what I know, there's no one else. There's one company that has looked at what we're doing and said, oh, we'll do that, but I believe it's $300 to join initially, and then $25 a month to have access to that concierge type thing. Ours, nothing to join. We'll help walk you through. We'll help get you started in the crypto space. And if you decide at the end of that you want to acquire some True Badger or Safu Fighter insights, they will help you do that. So we are really pioneering the way in the crypto space. And the reason being is we believe about a little over 6 years ago, I was online and I saw a report that there are over 30 million people over the age of 50 years old in the United States that have less than $25,000 in retirement savings. And I thought to myself, wow, if you've worked 30 plus years and you've only been able to manage to put away $25,000 or less, the chances of being able to retire comfortably are probably non-existent. And through that, the last 6 years, by finding the blockchain, by finding cryptocurrency, I found the answer to that article. This is the chance. So whether you do have savings, but you want to increase that towards retirement, or if you know somebody who is not in the position to be able to do that, this is their opportunity to do it. But here's the key. They must find, very few people will be able to do this on their own. Community is the key to success. So they're sitting there right now. They're 58 years old, less than 25,000, or maybe 30 or $50,000, maybe even $100,000 in retirement savings. They need help, and if they try to do crypto on their own, more than likely it's going to end up being something that's not going to work as well as they want it to. But if they find and join a community like the Nexus ecosystem, and I don't know of any other one, so there's, I guess right now, as far as I know, there's only Nexus, then they will have the greatest shot at it to be able to, over the next 3, 5, 8 years, to be able to put themselves in a position to be in a much better way when it comes to, when they're ready to say, hey, I'm done working, I want to go out and enjoy my life. And so we are excited about what we're doing. That is the big picture of the Nexus ecosystem. So what are some of the projects that we're working on? So you'll see my shirt, it says Stardom Token DAO on it. This is a project that we're working on. Today had a call with Stardom Chance LLC, which is a separate company, but we're working in conjunction with them. There was Stardom Chance, the company they formed. We love the concept. They said, they were looking for investment money. We said, no, we don't want to invest, but what we would love to do is form a DAO that would then support and help this concept over here. And then we could get thousands of people involved with it and be a part of it. And it is basically the democratization of Hollywood. It's where people get together and people get an opportunity. If you know much about it, if you know anybody who's ever tried to break into the movie business, it is tough. A very small percentage of people succeed, and most of the people succeed would be somebody who moved from wherever they're at to Hollywood and then try to make it there, right? But imagine having somebody from small town Ohio having the opportunity to become a star in a film and having the opportunity for you to support that film, be a part of it, and bring that to life. So fan-driven, community-driven project. We have a green energy project that we're working on. And the people that are involved in that project, just two of the gentlemen have over 100 million people through their social media and through their influence. They'll be helping us promote what we're doing there in the NFT space for green energy, and eventually a tokenization of that project as well. So these are all projects that are in the works that we've already got signed deals on it and that we're making progress on. We're working with one of the promises of the blockchain, which really was like, okay, this is it. There are right now billions of people on the planet, over 2 billion, that are what are called unbanked. They're in poverty because they don't have access to the modern banking system. And one of the things that blockchain is going to do is it's correcting and fixing that problem. It's allowing them to. So there's a couple things. If you're not part of the modern economic system, you have no proof of who you are, no proof of your birth date, right? You have no ability to own property or land. Why are we able to accelerate as a society? I can prove who I am. I can open up a banking account. I can get credit. I can borrow money to start a business. I can borrow money to buy a home and then build up equity in that home. And I can accelerate where I am. And this is true in all modern society. But there's a big portion of the world that's not able to. Blockchain is going to fix that. One of the projects we're working with is a project with an entity out of Africa, very influential, where we're going to be working on that project. So that is another project that we're working on in that space. I've already talked about Otherverse and what we're doing there, helping roll out their token, their FNFTs. We believe that they're going to be the leader in the metaverse space. And if I sat down and said, how big is the metaverse space going to be? Maybe you're not into that. You don't know much about it. A company called GPS, which is owned by Citibank. So it's Citibank GPS. They did a report recently. It came out last month of how big they believe the metaverse has. What's the potential of it over the next 8 years? So from now till 2030, their estimation is that the metaverse will be an $8 to $13 trillion opportunity over the next 8 years. Think about that, $8 to $12 trillion opportunity. And we are working with, partnered with, right, on helping them develop who I believe will be the #1 player in that space. So let me put it this way, the Amazon of the metaverse, the Google of the metaverse, right? The YouTube of the metaverse, the #1 player in the space. You can think about how much opportunity, how much wealth that will create, where that will take it to. And again, we'll see how things go over the next 8 years. So that's another project that we're working on. And we'll continue to develop and build more projects. We're working one in tax. We're working on a project in oh shoot, the girls will probably be able to tell you more of them that we're working on right now. But there's I believe it, Rhonda, it's 24 different projects, correct?
At last count, yes. And green energy, was that what you're looking for?
No. I already talked a little bit about that one. Yep. So, guys, lots of opportunity here. We're an opportunity machine. That's what we do. The Nexus ecosystem creates opportunity. What we're here to talk about is building that community. We're creating already a tremendous opportunity with a community of about 5,000. We take the community to 25,000, we'll be able to create more opportunity, 50,000 more opportunity, 100,000 more opportunity, 2, 3, 4, 500,000 people that have the understanding of getting involved in projects and sticking with the projects and helping the founders and driving things forward through this idea of a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. What I have coined the participatory economy. This is an economy where I don't just have a job to make money. I participate in the success of businesses, of projects, of technology, of the metaverse. And for that participation, each time I get some value, a digital asset that then marks my position in it. And then when wealth is created, right? When this idea of digital assets, then I own or have a piece of those digital assets, which at any point could be worth, being able to be through the marketplace, sold off, and then transferred back to fiat currency, producing wealth in my life. So, Chad, is there anything that you'd like for me to cover that I missed?
No, Peter, I think
I only had 45 minutes today. She said, you have 45 minutes, and I did it in 37.
That's amazing. I love it. No, I think you covered everything. And just a couple of the highlights I want to make sure people didn't miss them is, when I look at all this information and everything that Nexus ecosystem's doing, I kind of picture the True Badger token as the hub, the consulting incubator. And I think you said multiplier token. That's the hub. And then you're talking about Otherverse, the Google, the fact that we can be involved in some way, shape, or form to the Google of the metaverse is huge. And then the Stardom Chance token, which I think that's gonna, it's gonna, displace Hollywood to a certain degree, because we're gonna find out all this new talent that doesn't have to be a big part of Hollywood, and that's gonna be a beautiful thing. And then NFTs are just they're growing like crazy. There's so many of them that are 10, 20, 50, 100xing. And then, we talked about the clean energy product too. And that's just what's right now in the infancy of Nexus ecosystem. And I love that. I love the participatory economy. And, I think one of the things for me, Peter, I really loved about this too, is there's just so many people, they don't know where to start. They want to get involved. They don't know where to start. They're scared, right? I mean, it's like, there's 19,000. What do you just like throw a dart, close your eyes, flip through and go, I'm going to invest in number 3,872, right? And here, I think you've shared before, Peter, there's hundreds, if not thousands of people that have only invested in Nexus ecosystem projects because it's a safe community. It's a safe place where we can invest our hard-earned money and let it grow, and then invite friends and family to come and invest their hard-earned money. And again, the more we participate, the more everybody wins. So I always like to see if we got 5 or 6 minutes, I always like to see if somebody has a question or two. So if anybody has a question out there, just raise your hand,
While we're waiting on a question, Chad, maybe we can hear from Sharona and Rhonda. Listen, guys, we actually talked about this yesterday with Pixie. There is a disparity right now in the crypto space. It's 70 to 75% men, about 25 to 30% women that are involved in the crypto space. We believe that that's something that needs to be corrected. We have an AMA we do every 2 weeks that the ladies do to help do that. We're going to be working on that. And I think part of it is there's a lot of unknown and a lot of fear in the crypto space. We're here to educate and pioneer that and get through that side of it. I will let you know that 50%, a little bit over 50% actually of our entire team are women. I'm outnumbered every day. If you ever watch the show, it's 3 to 1. but it's a good place to be. And I think that's why we're so effective. And that's why we're having the success that we're having in putting this all together. So Rhonda, if you'd like to give about a 1 or 2 minute little thing about what you see or what's going on, and then we'll go to Sharona. And then if there's any questions, we'll answer those. Okay.
I've been keeping an eye on YouTube. And so thank you to everyone who's out there on YouTube who is watching, as we are happy to have you here. I hope we've got some new faces on. I highly encourage you to invite a friend next week if this has gotten your curiosity up about how you could get some success in the cryptocurrency space. I will say for myself, I have been very, very excited to see that. I'm years old, and my personal 401k has been dwindling, or had been dwindling at an alarming rate. And I'm just so happy that I have gotten into this cryptocurrency space, and I've learned so much a few years back about Bitcoin, and now the DeFi space where we play in the Nexus ecosystem. And it's such a relief to see those funds stacking back up. And I can see that this is a way that I can not just get back to where I had been, but go well beyond. And it's so easy to get started. It's $5 at a time, $10, 20. It will surprise you at how quickly you can have an impact on your own personal finances in the crypto space. And it's not as scary as it may sound. We make it super easy. We love having new faces around and holding people's hands and getting them on board. So please stay with us. We put in the YouTube channel, I put our main website address, which is nexusecosystem.io. If you go to that site, you're going to find all of these projects, their websites, as well as a help desk. You can click on the button and learn more and meet our onboarders. So there is so much to this this ecosystem that we have for you, and we just welcome you and say, come on, bring a friend, and let's get solid again, man. So that's it for me.
Awesome. So somebody had asked the question, remember to share the story of the person that you brought out of retirement. And this is Sharona. She's going to speak next. She had retired. She can tell you she was looking forward to it, but we needed some help, and we talked to her about it. Sharona, my question is this to you. If it was not for your relationship with myself and Doug and the work that we did figuring out the crypto side of things, what would be the likelihood of right now of you being in crypto at this point if it wasn't for coming from somebody, a group of people that you trusted and getting involved in that community aspect of it that said, hey, we're going to do this together? If you can cover that real quick, that'd be perfect.
Sure. So I am the person who came out of retirement 5 years ago and haven't stopped since, but wouldn't have it any other way. And I didn't know what I was going to do with that when I retired. So I got involved with this company and met these wonderful people here. And, we did lots of great stuff together. We grew close. We were very, very successful and providing value in other parts of the world and to other people. And things changed during COVID, and we had to pivot as well, as did so many other people. And we had already been involved with crypto in the un-DeFi space. I don't know what the right word is for that. The other space. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And it was fun and it was interesting, and it was like, oh, but I know at first I was like, oh my God, what's this? That's weird. I don't do that kind of stuff. And then more and more and more. And then when you spend all your time every day with people who have integrity and value and never ending work ethics, and they keep going and they never stop, and whatever it takes, and then got into this, and it was fascinating and it was so fun. Like, I mean, way back when, before True Badger, we were like doing things like bonfire and aqua goats, and I got a gazillion goats, like it was fun. It was unique and interesting. And we had a grand time. I remember with Carolyn and Candace, well, how many goats do you have this week? And then we grew up. Then we grew up, and the whole company was grown up and seriously into this space. And it was like, look at us. And sometimes when Carolyn and when we're having coffee early in the morning before we all start to work, it's like we're talking away and we're talking about the market and the market cap. And we're like, look at us. Look at us. There we are, 3 girls, like the not so balanced part of the crypto world. And we're having coffee and talking about market caps and, all that kind of stuff. So it grows on you. It's fun. This is the safest place ever. We have onboarding system supreme. Carolyn and her gang there, just top notch, top shelf. And that's what makes us so different. It's one of the very unique aspects of the Nexus ecosystem. And for new folks here, I'm seeing lots of new names between True Badger or YouTube and the chat here. Please dip your toes. Come on in. We will look after you and guide you.
So with that, thank you, Sharona. Thank you for coming out of retirement for us and being a part of what we're doing. I'm going to end it with this, guys. The beauty of blockchain and cryptocurrency is this. Normally, if you do it, let's say you are going to buy houses and rent them out, and you found a special channel to where you can buy the houses at a discount a little bit or without fees or whatever. You would not go out and tell all your friends about it, because if you did, then they would start buying houses and you'd have less to buy. Because crypto, the blockchain, is based on networks. Networks are basically, the bigger the network, the stronger the network. The more people that get involved, the more opportunity there is for every single person involved. So here's the beauty of it. You just found a treasure. The more you share that treasure with other people, the more valuable your treasure has the ability to become. I want to say that one more time. You found a treasure. The more you share the treasure, the more valuable your treasure becomes. That is what I call the most phenomenal win-win situation, right? If you were brought up in the 80s, there was this amazing thing that was called a win-win, right? People talking about finding win-win situations. This is the ultimate win-win situation for all of us to be a part of. Thank you for giving us some time tonight. Thank you for listening to this presentation. If you decide to become part of the Nexus ecosystem, it's free. And then if you decide when you join that you want to become an owner of True Badger, Safu Fighter Insights, or an NFT, we'll help walk you through that process. And again, thank you for being here. Chad, thank you for hosting us, buddy. Thank you, ladies, for the information that you gave everybody here. I'm telling you, if we can do it, you can do it. Let's do it together, and let's create massive success.